I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Hey everybody, this is Jason Dean with the Joe Blow Movie Network. Hollywood can chew up actors and spit them out nearly overnight. For some, that's the end of their careers. Others can find their second wind and end up here on the top 10 biggest actor comebacks. Neil Patrick Harris started Hollywood early as the child genius Doogie Howser, MD. And after that success, he would be known as the Starship Troopers psychic doctor Carl Jenkins. But he had a major downturn for several years of low-end work, until he landed the TV role in How I Met Your Mother, with a major comeback as the title role in Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. After Donnie Brasco, it seemed Johnny Depp was destined to be forgotten as a leading man in Hollywood, with movies like The Ninth Gate and Sleepy Hollow not doing much for his image. But then came the major comeback role as the legendary Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, with a more recent follow-up to form in Black Mass. Kiefer Sutherland had a booming career in the 80s with hits like Stand By Me, Young Guns, and of course, The Lost Boys. But the 90s were not so kind, with a string of forgettable, mediocre roles. Luckily, his career bounced back big time when he landed the lead as Jack Bauer in the TV show turned franchise 24, making him a household name once again.
So stop wasting my time! Give me a name!
Joaquin Phoenix burst onto the movie scene as Commodus in Gladiator, and then followed it up with the Shyamalan hit Signs in 2002. But then, things went south for several years with few hits and far more misses. Arguably, Walk the Line brought him back from the dead, but he really didn't have a home run again until The Master came out in 2012 and put him back on the map to recovery.
Family.
Yes.
Are you lying?
No.
One could argue that Jason Bateman never actually had a comeback because he didn't necessarily ever hit major success before Our Choices to begin with. He was plugging along as Michael Bluth from Arrested Development as his best success to date, but that show ended its initial success in 2006. He nearly fell off the map until the hit comedy Horrible Bosses really gave him that comeback boost after a 5-year slump. Last week, we saw two major actor transformations from this movie, and one of them was directly responsible for the renaissance of Matthew McConaughey. His turn in Dallas Buyers Club was not just a career-changing role, but totally reinvigorated the audience's perception of him as an actor. Prior to this, he was bouncing through rom-coms and some poorly made dramas, leading to the respected actor he is today. Mickey Rourke hadn't been a household name in a very, very long time prior to him popping up as Marv in Robert Rodriguez's Sin City. The 80s treated him well with a long run in some B-action movies, as well as some hit dramas like 9.5 Weeks. But his career tanked to nearly nothing for over a decade, until Sin City paved the way for a second win. A few years later, he received major recognition with a Best Actor nomination for the lead in The Wrestler. Donnie Darko himself even has some downtime. Jake Gyllenhaal had a great start with hits like the aforementioned Darko, and later Brokeback Mountain. But his movie selection started to hurt his career with Brothers, Love and Other Drugs, and even Prince of Persia. It looked like he wasn't going to be able to come back from mediocrity until the back-to-back hits of Prisoners and Nightcrawler opened up the opportunity for the more recent Southpaw. The name John Travolta means very different things to different people. Moviegoers in the 70s and early 80s thought he was a megastar with roles in Grease, Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive, and Urban Cowboy. And then disco died, and so did his career. Until an unproven director with only one major success under his belt selected Travolta out of near obscurity and put him in the role of Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction, revitalizing a nearly dead acting career. There's only one epic comeback in Hollywood history to make this list complete. Robert Downey Jr. was one of the biggest up-and-coming actors in the 80s with roles in Weird Science, The Pickup Artist, and Less Than Zero. But he was more known for a hard party in life and a severe drug and alcohol dependency than he was for his roles. Notoriously unreliable, most people flat out refused to work with him after his personal life became so exposed. Almost 20 years later, with very few successes along the way, a comic brand turned film company took a chance on him with one of their most important roles. Tony Stark rose Robert Downey Jr. from the dead and made for arguably the most successful comeback in Hollywood history. Tell us who we forgot down below in the comments, and thanks for watching. I'm Jason Dean with the Joe Blow Movie Network.